let's talk about what we're playing.
Okay, so I've been playing a game.
Oh, God.
On my phone. Way too much. It's called Marvel Snap. It's a free-to-play card battler on your mobile device.
Talk faster.
It's on everything.
Talk a lot faster.
It's really good, and I'm mildly addicted to it. Ship, did you check it out? Because I told you should. No,
Did not.
Lame.
Don't you want to just waste a lot of time on your phone?
I mean, I poop like everybody else does. Sometimes my wife will watch things on TV that I have no interest in. So I'll put that's snap time. That's what I'm laying down that Hulk card. Causing trouble, wrecking stuff. It's so far. It seems like they have a really good model for this game where you don't feel like you need to spend money. And the money that you can spend would not be pay to win. It's really more like a cosmetic type thing. So I highly recommend checking it out. Like I said, it's free. It's on your mobile device.
Not on my mobile device.
Shipwreck, go check it out.
It's not free.
And
your time is valuable.
I don't typically love card battling games for the most part.
It's not a typical. It reminds me even more because I know we liked the original Eye of Judgment. It's a little more similar to that than it is than say maybe Hearthstone or Magic. So I don't know. I don't think you would hate it. And to answer Knucklebones in the chat, I've not spent any money on it yet. He asked, how much have I spent on it? I've spent $0.00.
How much time have you spent on it?
Probably too much.
About how much? What level are you?
I have no idea.
No, what level are you?
Oh, I am like 180.
That sounds like a lot. Didn't the game just come out like last week?
It does sound like a lot, but I asked the question today on Twitter, like, this is the level I am, because I also
I saw that.
No
people
idea.
were like, "Oh my God, how did you get such a high level?"
And yet, the other half are, I'm 285.
I don't think half were saying that. I think one guy said that.
No, a lot of people are saying that.
Okay, Trump.
A lot of people. Yeah, here's one. Someone just replied to me 51 minutes ago. 257. And an hour ago, 224, 232. These are the numbers I'm getting from other people. So clearly
you've barely scratched the surface.
I've barely scratched the surface. Exactly. I haven't even hit the tier 2 card decks.
What are you even doing over there?
I know. I'm still in tier 1. So no, I don't think I'm that far along.
Nice.
I don't have Spider-Man.
You're level 180 and you haven't unlocked Spider-Man yet?
Spider-Man, I think, is a tier 3 card.
Sounds good. Sounds like a well put together experience. These games, like
I have
free
a Spider-Woman.
I just know, like the free to play, like at this point, like I just know that I'm gonna get to a point where I'm like, all right, I can play this forever, but there's just gonna be all this stuff to buy out here in the cursory constantly, right? Like, so it's gonna make me like invest a lot more time into it to play it to get the rewards for not paying for something. That's how they're all structured. So I'm really happy still with my Apple Arcade games because I know they're structured to be a game that you can play and not have to worry about that crap.
Maybe they'll come out with Snap Plus.
So I play my Hanks trivia on Apple Arcade and I'm happy with that.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying Marvel Snap. I'll keep checking it out. I know you're not wrong, but it doesn't mean I can't like it.
No, I'm glad I'm happy for you to like it. I just know that I've played enough of those games and I think in my lifetime.
Used to be a Marvel Puzzle Quest guy.
Yeah, I played that for like 3 years. And guess what? They kept on putting out more and more content. And it was the same chase. It's a fun game, but I don't need a game to last me infinite years.
Did they get money? Is that a free to play one too?
Yeah.
Did they get money out of you eventually?
No.
Over 3 years, they didn't get any money.
Never.
So like these games, man, like it must be a very big percentage of the audience that doesn't spend any money whatsoever. And then there's like just a really small percent that like can't help but spend so much money.
Sure.
Like they have to collect
you keep
it.
the user base going that way, right?
It's crazy. It seems, yeah. I just can't play any game like that.
They're fun games. They're fine.
I'm sure, like but Overwatch is now that model, and it's just like
it just hits a part of my brain that I'm like, what am I doing?
Right.
Like this is never going to end. Like I'm stuck in this game.
Well, I just feel like I'm being manipulated, is what I feel like. I feel like this game was made to be free and to keep me engaged in a certain way, so that then either myself or somebody else gets enticed to buy these overpriced items so that they can actually make money off the game, which is the whole point of the game existing.
Sure.
And it's just like, I can't get past that. And that's even like Overwatch. Like, that's all I think about. Like, so I can't.
I'll keep playing Fortnite.
Yes, I know. Yeah, you will. What else we got?
Yeah. I've been playing. They sent over a code for Atari Mania.
You playing that on the Switch?
I am playing that on the Switch. This is the WarioWare
Atari game,
type of Atari game. So it's cute. You are the caretaker of an Atari museum, and you're walking around this museum, and there's some little like adventure game puzzles that you're doing, like picking up things and like you get a magnet that you can move stuff around with and a grappling hook and everything. And you're talking to various characters from all your favorite Atari games.
Like who?
Bentley the Bear.
Adventure.
He's there. The guy from Adventure is there.
He is there.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So, and then you get into these little like mini games, right? Like the micro games, not even mini games.
Yeah.
And they're the way the game is structured, you get into these dead pixels areas, right? And that's where you're trying to free the Atari characters that got sucked into this dead pixel void. And so you have so many like screw ups that you could have in like a series of like 10 or 13 or however many micro games that you do back to back to back. And some of them are very straightforward. Like here's combat. And shoot a plane, right? Like you're playing the plane version of combat. Just shoot a plane down in like 10 seconds. You're good to go. And then other ones are like they mash up like, oh, now there's Pong in the middle of combat. And
that sounds cool.
Yeah, like keep the
only for old people,
and you're trying to like battle against the Pong paddle type of thing.
This game is only for old people.
It's only for old people. And like your rewards for doing these things are like you're unlocking the box art and the manuals for the old games.
Right, so for old people.
But the games themselves are modern. They're not the old graphics, right? They're like modernized.
Oh, but not I don't totally like that at all.
But, right. Like it's like this weird combination of like, this is what this game would look like, but like in Flash form.
Right. I feel like they could have used the original designs and just sort of spruced it up a little bit.
Maybe.
Kept the spirit.
They have those games separately though, if you want to play that. Like the other game that I'm playing, because I've been playing the Missile Command remastered. Because they sent me Recharged. Sorry, Missile Command Recharged. Because they sent me a code for that one. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know. They've never offered me a code before, but I think after the last time we talked about Atari, I don't know if it's coincidence or not.
You have the hat.
Yeah, they email me and they're like, "Hey, do you want a code for Missile Command?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So
those games are good. All the Recharge games are good. Is that one good?
That one's good. It's. Have you played Missile Command?
I have.
It's Missile Command. It just looks a little prettier. There is a co-op mode as well.
Yep. All of the Recharge ones have co-op.
It's so if you ever wanted to play a nicer looking version of the game that you're used to with friends or loved ones, then have I got the game for you. It's called Missile Command Recharged. And yeah, it's fun. It's Missile Command. There's not much to say. You move the little icon around, you blow up the missiles and the spaceships and try to make sure your house doesn't get blown up.
Yeah, those games are good. They're well done. They're very short to get through them. Like you can get through them in an hour or two of consistent play. But
well, I mean, when you're playing Missile Command, you can play Missile Command as long as you can play Missile Command.
Well, there's challenges though, right? if you go through the challenges of the game and you go and you can get all the achievements and everything pretty quickly in those games. They're really well done though. Like if those had happened in the heyday of Xbox Arcade, like I think Atari would be in a much better place than they went through in the rough times here. Atari Mania, getting back to that, like I'm enjoying it. Sometimes it's brutally hard.
Weird.
And that comes down a little bit to like it doesn't, like the performance on the Switch is not great on some of these. Like
that doesn't surprise me.
It just, I don't know, does not have the power to play some of these Atari games at this point. Yikes. It's really strange. But hopefully that one comes out on other consoles as well, because I think it's only PC and Switch right now.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Should we talk about Ghostbusters? What's it called? Spirits of something?
Something. Ghostbusters
Unleashed? Spirits Unleashed?
Yeah.
No, that's probably not it.
Right.
We'll never know.
Unleashed always sounds good in the title of a game.
Yeah.
Always unleashing something.
Right.
I played Unleashed. You
got it right. Spirits Unleashed.
See, and that's a good title. I played a good amount of this game. It's not great. It's almost good, is what I would say. That's how I would characterize it. Like there's some good ideas, but there's some very flawed execution. Yeah, like the inherent concept of 4 Ghostbusters capturing a ghost is pretty fun in theory. But I don't know if it's the control that feels like the control is sluggish, and also
I'm not a fan of the controls in this game.
They haven't nailed, like they had to do like a few things like perfectly in this game. And they had to get like all the sounds right from the movies and really balance the sound right, which they really didn't do. Like when you throw that proton, like I'm a big Ghostbusters fan as much as any old white guy. And, you know, when you throw that proton pack, it should really like sound loud and good. It's just like you're sort of struggling to hear that. I don't know. Did they only pay enough money to play the Ghostbusters song once in the game? Like when you load it up and like never hear it again? Because I think I heard it, but I haven't heard it in a really long time.
Do you know where I can hear the Ghostbusters theme as many times as I want?
It adds a lot.
In Fortnite.
See, that's weird because they have more money.
That was going to be my answer too, is probably in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Even in the old Ghostbusters game, it played the theme all the time. You push the space bar and it would say...
There should be just a button
Ghostbusters.
to play the theme.
Totally. Yes, that. But I'm sure like they have to pay. They got like the cheap license.
Anytime you walk into a room and you sense, and like when you know there's a ghost in the room, it should start that.
Yeah. Or just be going
like there
just
should
like
be
when
a
you're hanging
sting,
around.
some sort of musical sting, and to let you know, A, there's a ghost there, and B, this is Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I feel like those was like some of the key things that you think were like pretty attainable, like get all the sounds right and like the audio atmosphere of the game right. And
but have On Our Own in it?
Is who?
On Our Own?
No, Bobby Brown.
No. That's no.
You're not an On Our Own guy?
I know the song, but it's not in there.
I mean, it's the number 2 song from Ghostbusters, right? Like that's track 2.
And they try to do like a little story in there, even though it's really strictly just a multiplayer game for Ghostbusters against a ghost.
Opening cinematics that are way too long. That was brutal.
I thought like it fooled me for a second. I was like, oh, I thought this is just a multiplayer only game. Why are all these cutscenes? They did a pretty good job of like making fake Dan Aykroyd, and like he was like okay. Like I was like, all right, they put some effort into it, and you know Ernie Hudson character. But then I was like, wait a minute, this is just a multiplayer.
Yeah,
I don't even know why they bother doing this. It seems like just spend that time.
Have you played as a ghost?
Yeah. It's fine.
Playing as a ghost is lame. Playing as a ghost is lame. Playing as a ghost in that game was zero fun. I did not enjoy it.
Do you know what you're supposed to do? Like you got to hide in the stuff and
not get busted.
Yeah, you hide in a piece of furniture and then you bounce around as that piece of furniture.
No, but you got to haunt the furniture.
People.
You got to haunt the furniture. I mean, it's not. Look, you're right. It's not great. It's almost good.
It's boring because you're like, what am I doing? I'm just. Oh look, I'm a tree now. Look,
no, you attack. You can attack the Ghostbusters. you
a
attack the
tree.
people. I don't think you understood. I think you skipped
I understood just fine. It was boring.
You understand Ghostbusters? Do you
I understand
Ghostbusters?
I knew what my attacks were.
Because you didn't mention that. You just mentioned that you stand there like a tree.
Yes, I slimed the Ghostbusters numerous times.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah,
At any point were you too hot to handle or too cold to hold?
No. I'm totally. They won't even play the fucking Ghostbusters song, and it's Ghostbusters.
The problem with
one time you get it.
The problem with playing as a Ghostbuster on the other end was, for me, the controls were just a little convoluted, and the traps are too inaccurate. So you have to throw the trap down, use your proton pack, and pull the ghost over the trap, and then close the trap once you have the ghost over it. But there's no the indicator when you're actually over the trap isn't quite there. And the throwing it down, there's no like way to do it accurately. It just kind of goes. So 9 out of 10 times you're going to be too short or too long on throwing the trap where you want it. So you're already screwed because now you're moving in away from where you already were, where you had the ghost, or you're going to overheat your proton pack trying to grab the ghost again after throwing down the trap, and then you're going to lose the ghost. So it's just there's too many things. I understand that they want you to play with other people, and possibly I guess someone else throws the trap while you use the proton pack, but even then, by the time your teammate throws the trap down and gets it in the right spot, and you're trying to hold the ghost in place with your proton pack, you're going to overheat and you're going to lose the ghost that way too. Like the balance just isn't there. It's either boring to be the ghost or it's convoluted to be the Ghostbuster. So both fail.
All right. Full fail. Wamba says full fail on Ghostbusters.
Sorry. I mean, Diesoft mentions the Evil Dead game in the chat, and that's a game that's essentially the same style of game, but it works. That game is fun to play as the monsters, and that game is fun to play as, Ash and friends.
They should have just made another single-player Ghostbusters game. Because the first one was pretty good. It was good.
That single-player Ghostbusters game was pretty good.
Yep. Mm-hmm. If Bill Murray was only a little more interested in doing the voice work.
And we were also, that's one of the games that pulled off, like, hey, you're not one of the Ghostbusters, you're the new guy. Mm-hmm. Like you're nondescript new Ghostbuster guy, which is tough to do in a franchise like that.
Hey, rookie.
Right. Like, yeah.
Hey, rookie. I love it when games do that. I love that. That's one of my favorite tropes in video games. When characters call you rookie because you doesn't matter because they don't have a name for you. Hey, Rook.
So is this just the 4 original Ghostbusters you can play as in this game? Or
no, you design your own Ghostbuster. It's a fully customizable Ghostbuster.
You're unlocking new skins and
sunglasses.
Can you play as the original 4?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I'm sure they'll sell it to you. I'm sure they have like skins that you can buy real American dollars for, I would imagine.
I think just variations on the suit. Like you could have like an orange Ghostbuster suit.
The suit is just a brown jumpsuit with a name tag.
Or blue.
No, but there's all different clothing. You don't have to wear a jumpsuit. Like they have
the animated Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Those colors.
Do they have the animated haircuts in there? Can I get the Egon?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's in there. That big yellow weird
pompadour. The spiral pompadour.
That Egon never had.
Yeah, it's not super fun. All right, let's
Is Slimer in this? Did they get the license for Slimer?
No.
They play Slimer?
Pink Ghost.
What are they doing? I don't understand. Like they don't have the theme song.
They do have the theme song, but only once.
But not while you're only once. They have the theme song once.
Once, like when you first boot up the game, and then never again. I think.
But Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson are in it at the beginning.
But it's not really them though.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah, that was Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought that guy did a pretty good job. I didn't know that was really him.
That was Dan Aykroyd.
He did a good job as Dan Aykroyd.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh.
I don't understand the license if you don't have any of the characters. Yeah, is Ecto 1 in there?
Yes.
Yes, but you don't drive Ecto. You don't get to drive it.
Just look at it.
Just look at it.
in the game lobby.
Instead, you're on the ghost motorcycle.
No, they're just walking around.
Might as well. Yeah. Batman's dead. The game opens up and there's a newspaper in a puddle.
All the Ghostbusters are just dead.
It says Ghostbuster funeral today, and then it pans up.
But they don't turn to ghosts to where you could fight them, because that would be too interesting.
That would be awesome.
That would be the boss.
Peter
That's the
Venkman's
boss
ghost
battle.
is the final boss.
Yeah, they're not making that game. It's too good. They're going to make more of these. Probably not. I don't think it's too compelling, as Wombat was saying. Yeah.
Ghostbusters is such a weird license because everybody knows like what it is, but nobody likes anything of it except for the first movie and some of the second, right?
Yeah, that newest one was hot garbage. The Paul Rudd Ghostbusters movie.
I can't bring myself to watch that.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, that movie's such hot garbage.
All I know is the Red Letter Media guys were just laughing at it, and
but merchandise, it's like it's the Atari of movies, right? Like, because you can sell T-shirts of this all day long, right? Like everybody loves a Ghostbusters T-shirt. It doesn't matter.
Right.
That classic.
You like the logo. The logo is the most liked part.
Yeah, red circle line through it. Ghost. Got it. Done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the most liked part of Ghostbusters at this point. The logo is first. The song, close with the song, actually.
A T-shirt that just played the song.
Like one of those cards that you open up and plays the song. It's shirt.
It's just a T-shirt that plays the song while you're walking around.
Right.
And then you bring up the lawsuit. Like that's pretty much what you do. You just insert that into every conversation you have. Like, oh, I love that song. Hey, did you know about the lawsuit?
Yeah, that song was plagiarized.
Right. Did you know about that?
Poor Ray Parker Jr.
All right.
Poor Ray Parker Jr. He stole the song.
But he didn't mean to.
Yeah, he did. They hired him to
steal it.
Yeah, they wanted Huey Lewis, and then they couldn't get. He said no, and then they brought him in and said, "Hey, make this sound like Huey Lewis."
Well, that's not stealing.
They determined it was.
Oh, really? They lost in the court? Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah.
He lost, yes. Oh. Huey Lewis now gets the money every time.
You're kidding. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Man, if you just talked to the people who had the T-shirts on that were playing the song, you would know about this.
Huey Lewis makes bank off that Ghostbusters theme song.
Wow, no wonder why they only play it once. Huey's got expensive tastes.
Well, Huey can't tour anymore, so
he needs the money from
where
this.
he could get it.
Yeah, it's one of the rare instances like, oh, you can't really say it sounds like somebody, but then you hear Huey Lewis and you go like, oh no, this dude has its like there's a very distinct sound that is Huey Lewis. And
I have no idea about this. I'm gonna have to find.
Listen to I Want a New Drug.
It's I Want a New Drug. It's the same.
It's the same exact song.
Yeah. I do know the song. Very familiar with Huey Lewis.
I want a new drug.
Yep.
When they won't make me sick.
Okay, that makes sense. That's cool. Good.
Yeah. It does not sound like The Other Woman, which is Ray Parker Jr.'s other hit.
All right. Interesting. All right, that's enough show. We can't possibly do any more. Sorry, I had a whip smart spank bank for you, but we'll save it for next week. I think
sounds good.
It's too late.
Wombat's going to get sued. Get us all sued for the number of bars he sang there of Ghostbusters.
I'm going to get sued by Huey Lewis. So I think he's a pretty decent human being. So maybe he won't. I don't know.